Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last episode, making an EVA Foam Splash-o-matic Part 1, we got a good portion of the way through this build. We got the whole body section, we got the whole central body section, actually we did the whole handle assembly, and we did the majority of the body. And started the dial, super easy. So now in this episode, making an EVA Foam Splash-o-matic Part 2, we are going to complete the build, and then we're going to begin to seal it and paint it, which is where the disaster happens. But that's okay, because the build is super cool, as you've seen so far. You can totally do this, all right? So, if we're ready to hit it, let's make something. All right, there we go. We've got our marks, but before we stick that, we are going to soften the edges of this up with our Dremel. Right there. And we are going to stick it down. So far, so good. All right, now we have a huge screw up, really huge. All right, now this piece right here, this dial is not supposed to be sitting on here. It's supposed to be sitting on here. And this piece is supposed to be up on top of here. So we weren't paying attention and we stuck it down in the wrong spot. Now this is super glue, but this is contact cement. All right, so we're going to cut the super glue part off. All right, like that. All right, now what we're going to do is this. Okay, we're going to come in. All right, so we got some thinner in here. We're going to try to separate our contact cement, and it's working. It's working. It's working. All right, there we go. We salvaged it, all right? Now, we're gonna come in with our thinner, and we're gonna get most of the glue off. We saved it. Now, we've got a little funky part right there, so we're gonna come in and we're gonna trim that. All right, there we go. Let's try to clean it up just a little bit. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Now we can come in and we can take this and we can move it right up to here, and we are going to redo this piece right here. So let's cut it off here. All right, we're going to be able to come in and reattach this at the front, right up here, and we're going to recut this piece for right here. What? All right, now we're going to recut this little piece that's going to go on the front. All right, there we go, easy fix. You can't even tell right there where we had it stuck down. Really easy stuff. All right, good lesson on how to fix what could have been a huge disaster. All right. Okay, now what we're gonna do is a tiny little detail, okay? We did this cool groove right here with our wood burner to make it look like it's two pieces of metal coming together, but we need to go around the side so it completes that look. Now we're gonna come in very carefully, and we're just going to go around the side like that. All right. Go right through the side, just like that. All right, now we've got the crease coming around the side, and around the front, and around the back side, and around the front. That way it looks more realistic, like it's two pieces put together. Okay, now we're gonna take this 12mm piece for our little top handle detail. We're gonna knock this out on the scroll saw real quick. All right, here we go. We've got the base of our handle cut out, and now what we're gonna do is the piece that's gonna go right here on both sides, all right? So we've got that drawn out on 4mm foam. And we're gonna lay down flush down here along the bottom. Okay. All right, now we're going to follow our edge down. We're coming right up to our corner. All right, there we go. Check that out. Really simple stuff. Now we're just going to come in our end just like that. There we go. All right, there we go. Beautiful. Just that subtle little rounding of the edge makes it have a really finished look. All right, let's seal it. All right, now we're going to be coming in with these, and we're going to be using them to be bases for... There we go, centered right in the middle of our piece. There, just like that. Get some of that squeeze out off of there. The handle. All right, now we're coming in with this 4mm piece of foam. We measure. Okay, now the short one's going to come in and go right there, and then the long one's going to come in. It's going to go off of it like that, so it looks like a strap. Now we're going to cut a 45-degree bevel. All right, see that? We've got a little bevel cut here. So now when we come in, this is going to match right up to the top of that piece, and it's going to look completely legit. Actually, that will go this way. All right, we're going to come in with our super glue. We're going to, just like that. All right. Stick them together. We're going to come in. We're going to get, and we're going to hold it down while it bonds. Really simple stuff. So we've got a base here, and these two top pieces stuck together. Now you might be saying, what the heck? All right, now we're going to bring these in, and we're going to connect them from the base to the top part. All right, and there's going to be a bevel cut on this end, and there's going to be a regular cut on that end. All right, saw through and cut it. All right, there we go. Now we've got a bevel here and a straight edge here. We are going to get some on the edge, just like that. We're going to attach it right here, and we're going to hold it. And onto that little base. All right, see that? We've got two pieces connected at the top, so you can clearly see it's two pieces. We have it connected here at the bottom. It wraps around. And this is where we have our bevel cut, so it matches up with that perfectly. So look at that, it looks like a strap. All right, there we go, check it out. All right, here's our 4mm needle. All right, real simple stuff. Instead of doing the back cut straight, we're going to tip our knife really drastically. We're going to cut through on a real drastic bevel. All right, just like that. Okay, now what we get is this. All right, we've got an arrow that's got a bevel on the back. Perfect. All right, we're going to begin doing the nozzle end of our Splash-o-matic, and we've got a leftover piece of 8mm foam here. We're going to cut this circle out, and then we're going to bevel it. All right, so we're just going to come in. All right, there we go. There. All right, we've got our dust mask on. Now we're going to Dremel from the bottom here to this inside line, okay, because we want to taper all the way around our piece. All right, there we go. Check that out. Let's make this thing smooth and tight. That is smooth and tight and tapered. Really easy. All right, we're going to try to do the nozzle. and it's going to taper. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this inch thick piece of foam that's 24 millimeter. We're going to knock this out on the bandsaw real quick. All right, there we go, 5/8 by 5/8. Okay, now we're going to make a center mark. We're going to go from this center mark to this corner, and then from this center mark to this corner. Like spin around, and we're going to go from this corner to that point. Go right through. All right, there we go. Now we have a triangle. Okay, so we're going to roll that over. Right, there's our center mark. Now we're going to go from that point to this point, and from that point to this corner. Straight through our piece like this. All right, now we have a spike. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get our Dremel out, and we're going to begin tapering this thing, okay? Is we'll come in with our super rough bit. Now we're going to bring our smooth bit back in. All right, see what we did? We started to make it into a circle. All right, now we're going to come in and clean it up. All right, look at that. That is perfectly tapered. It's almost perfectly round. That is really nice. All right, now we're going to cut the tip off. Nice and tapered. Beautiful. All right, there we go. Now we know we're perfectly in the center. So super glue there, just like that. We're going to hold it down while it bonds. All right, we're moving into two of the little knobs up on the front end. All right, we're going to use this 24 millimeter dowel, and we are going to cut two of those pieces. We're going to create two wraps, and we're going to wrap them. But before we do that, we marked out some little marks here on our piece. If you notice, we've got this line on both and these dots on both. All right, we're going to come through with an X-Acto knife, and we're going to make really thin cuts. Okay, we're going to stop at this line, and we're just going to break the surface. We're just barely breaking the surface with the tip of our blade. All right, we're going to go right down the whole wrap. All right, there's our creases. All right, now we're going to get our piece. We're going to cut these off on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to do a test wrap so we know exactly what our length is. Right there. 3 3/8. All right. Right there and there. All right, there's our marks. We're going to slightly tip our knife. All right. We're going to stick that down. Now we're going to roll it. Pinch our seam together right there. Take our time, pinch our seam. All right, we've got our seam together. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to go to the bandsaw. We're going to cut the ends off so the ends are nice and clean. All right, gloves on, dust mask on. Now we're going to taper from this line to this line. All right, there we go. Check it out. Beautiful taper. Beautiful. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with the heat gun, and we're going to heat this up, and it's going to separate these creases. Now take a look. See how all the creases opened up? That is beautiful detail right there. Look at that. Man, is that cool. Really easy stuff. We've got the grooves all around it, the flat top, and the beveled bottom. All right, now we're going to begin assembling the front end of our barrel. All right, really simple stuff. We've got a 2 millimeter piece, a 4 millimeter piece, a thick 48 millimeter, which is a 2-inch thick foam dowel, and a little 8 millimeter foam dowel. All right, roughly to here. All right, now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this foam dowel and we're gonna split it right down the middle because we want a half round. All right, we're gonna cut right through the middle of our dowel. All right, just like that. All right, now we split it. All right, there we go. Okay, we need 6 of them. Actually, we need 7 of them, so we're gonna do this a couple more times till we have 7 half rounds. All right, there we go. We've got them all cut. All right, perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with this 2 millimeter piece, all right? And okay, now what we did was we drew our lines, all right? We measured out for each one of our half rounds, okay? And then we stopped right there, and we left a thicker space for this 4 millimeter piece, and then one more piece for a half round. All right. All right, we're gonna start our thick 4 millimeter piece right here, and we're gonna lay right down there. And we're gonna go all the way down, lining up right up against our 4 millimeter piece. Okay. All right, we've got the 4 millimeter piece down and we've got one of our half rounds down. Now we're just gonna lay all the rest of the half rounds down right across here. All right, we did a lot of preparation there, okay? We stuck everything down onto our 2 millimeter piece, and this is gonna be our wrap, all right? You want the end to be cut on a slight bevel, all right? So we're gonna tip our knife a little bit and go right through, all right? So we've got a slight bevel on this end. Now we can come around and we can do our measurement. So now we know our length is gonna be perfect. Then we're gonna slightly tip our knife and we're gonna do a bevel cut. All right, there we go. There's our wrap. So it should come all the way around and meet up together perfectly. All right, there we go. Let it dry. All right, there we go. Okay, we're gonna leave that end up. All right, now we're gonna get the edge of this covered. There we go, look at that. Now you just take your time and you line up your dowels so that everything is going together perfectly, just like that. All right, now let's push it down right there at our seam. That looks like coils. That is so cool. Wow. All right, now we have to cut this off at the same angle as this is, okay? So we're gonna get our template out that we used to tilt our table on the bandsaw at the proper angle, and we're gonna make the same cut here, the matching cut, so that those match up together perfectly, all right? Let's get our template ready to tilt the table. All right, there we go. There is our angle. All right, there we go. Check it out. We cut it off at the angle. Now, when we bring this piece in, the angle's gonna match up perfectly. All right, let's stick it down. Let's look all the way around our piece. Make sure we're kind of centered, which it looks like we are. That's crazy. Let's come up here where we made our mark. Right there. All right, now we're gonna stick it down right on our mark. We're gonna be careful. We're gonna come around to this side, make sure we are lined up, and we are right there. All right, now we're going to make... Good grief. Wow. All right, now what we've done here is we made a center mark right here. Okay, now we're gonna go over to the drill press and we're gonna drill straight through the middle of this and out the other side so that we can feed this rod through it like that. and it's going to go all the way through our piece just like that, which is almost spot on. Now we're going to slide this in, and we're going to spin it as we go in, because we're coating the inside of the cavity with the cement we just put on there. Perfect. Now what's going to happen is the moisture content inside that contact cement is going to dry up after a few minutes, and it's going to stick to the walls on the inside there. So that's going to be nice and solid. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come in on these two pieces, and we're going to use the drill press, and we're going to drill inside here so we can slide these onto our wood dowels. Right to our mark. Spin it around to get it coated. All right, there we go. Check that out. Super jamming. Wow. All right, man. There you go, step by step. It's not hard. Takes a lot of time, but it is not hard. So with those last couple little details, that brings the build portion of our Splash-o-matic to a close. All right, we're out at the spray stand. We're gonna coat our Splash-o-matic with our Plastidip. And you know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator. Wow, we talk about this all the time. There's 3 stages that rock in your props. One is when you get the whole foam thing built and you're like, whoa, this is a prop. But this is maybe the best stage when you coat it with black Plastidip, because now all of a sudden, bam, it is real. Check it out, the Splash-o-matic. Look at that thing, man. Super easy. We just coated it with Plastidip, hit it from a lot of different angles, gradually to build it up. You don't want to spray the heck out of it, blast it, and cause it to be wet and drippy. You want to just build up your layers, and looking good. That is really cool. So we're going to leave this alone. We're going to let it set overnight so it dries all the way through, and then we're going to begin painting it. All right, we're going to begin by spraying our crazy insane fluorescent magenta on here. Now, all right, there we go. Sometimes if the one paint gets on the surface of where you're going to put another paint, it can affect the color a little bit. All right, there we go, just lightly. We might have not even had to do this, but it might just help us a little bit. All right, so let's go out to the spray stand and let's hit our magenta. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad day at Black Sheep Props. We are not going to be finishing our prop. That's right, look at that mess. We experimented with a spray paint we knew nothing about. It was an outdoor construction spray paint, like a hazard paint, and it has something inside the paint. It was started to melt. It melted the Plastidip. The paint started bubbling and cracking. And then when we started to touch it over here, look at this. It literally is melting. Look at that. It is melting the Plastidip. This is an utter disaster. All the way to this stage of the prop, and we have destroyed it. Oh well, that's life in the topsy-turvy world of prop making. Sometimes you bite the dust. Sometimes you are at your zenith of glory. We have just bitten the dust. So we're not going to be finishing the paint job. So at least you can build your very own super cool Splash-o-matic, and then just make sure you paint it with the proper acrylics from the arts and crafts store. Don't go to a construction section and buy something that's for outdoor construction instead of the normal awesome spray paint section or acrylic paint section in your local arts and crafts store. So with that epic disaster, that brings our Splash-o-matic build to a close. All right, there it was, the disaster. From now on, this will forever be known as the Splash-o-matic affair. So in the annals of black sheep prop history, it will always be known as the Splash-o-matic affair. But the build, radical. You saw how we did a huge save, how we stuck the dial down in the wrong spot. We had to do some surgery and remove it, but you saw how easy that was. Totally doable. We did the handle, and you saw how cool this was at the front, man. With those coils and everything, that was super cool. And all these angle cuts, jammin' build. Sweet, sweet, awesome build. An epic, disastrous paint fail. So, build your own radical Splash-o-matic, and make sure you're getting acrylics from the arts and crafts store or buying your spray paint from the right section in the hardware store. So that was it, man. Super cool, super cool. And all right, so that concludes making an EVA foam Splash-o-matic Part 2. We saw the epic disaster. But up to that point, the build was awesome, so hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're gonna go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.